Like I've noticed a lot of things in my life, you know what I'm saying? And one of those things is like it's very difficult for people to like, for me personally, to like tell me who I am. To like identify or break me down or read me. Like it's very difficult for a lot of reasons. And one of those reasons is because when you've been through a lot of shit and you understand not only how to win, but you understand that patience is a virtue, but more so that time, it's really just a matter of how you really maneuver and how strong you are mentally. And I noticed that it's not a lot of people strong mentally. They say they're strong, but at the end of the day, like it's like when they're challenged, the first thing they do is it's like they either lash out or rebel or hide or whatever the case may be. And I just sitting here reflecting, I just a lot of time, I'm saying, this new year, just to sit down and really reflect on life and, the directions and all that great stuff or whatever. And I definitely would encourage everyone to do the same thing, to sit down and just reflect. And not in a negative fashion, but really about yourself and where you're going and all that great stuff. But I just find that when you reach a level of confidence, you reach a level of self, of knowledge, that a lot of people can't fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad because both professionally and personally, that when you have people rooting for you, you know what I'm saying? It's like you're the person that go out the door and you come back with the trophy. You're the person that's putting the points on the board. You're the person that's running the ball. You're the person that's getting all the praise. You're the person that's setting goals and accomplishing the things that you set out to do. I'm about to say some real shit. When you're the person that's accomplishing the things that you set out to do, and you have those people cheering for you, it's like, oh my God, you're so awesome. You're great. I love you. Personal and professional. Those cheers, those yay start, after a while, they start to, check this out. Those cheers, those attaboys, those great jobs, those I love you, you're the best, you're so confident, you're so cool, you're amazing, And a lot of people don't realize that's happening around them, both professionally and personal. I don't care how many times a person says that you're amazing, how many times they say they love you, how many times they say they support you. Eventually, they're going to feel a certain type of way if they're not accomplishing goals, if they're not hitting benchmarks, if they're not getting those, you know what I'm saying, they're not getting the attention that you're getting because they're not doing anything. But the fact of the matter is, it's because you're doing something, you now have become public enemy number one. Their lack of success is your fault. Their lack of health is your fault. Their lack of being able to talk and communicate is your fault. Everything that's wrong with their life, instead of examining it and saying that I am in control of my life, this is about me, self, the focal point then becomes the person that is actually confident. The focal point becomes toward the person that's actually achieving the things that they've set out to do. So this is one of those conversations where you kind of be like, okay, well, how can a person hate on me if they're benefiting from my wins? You know what I'm saying? If I make the last shot on the team, or if I put up 40 for the team and the whole team get to go to Disney World, the whole team get new cars, the whole team get rings, the whole team get the benefit of being a champion. Why would, you know what I'm saying, people be upset? Well, let me explain that to you guys. That until a person see their name in lights, until a person says somebody wants to wear my jersey because I am the star, somebody is applauding me and not applauding you. Can you imagine standing next to like LeBron, right? And somebody say, okay, on the game of one-on-one, who would win? You know, more so would say, hey, LeBron will win. But what if LeBron was taking out the picture and you're LeBron and you stand next to somebody? Well, let's use that in this scenario. You're the LeBron. You're the one that's accomplishing all the missions. You're the one that's setting those goals and you're making it. Everybody looks at you and say, that's LeBron. But when they look at the other person, they're kind of like, they don't get that LeBron excitement. They don't get that LeBron confidence. They don't get that LeBron notoriety. No one's giving them the high fives and the, oh my God, you're so amazing. And oh God, you know, you really can take problems and break them down and articulate and not let your emotions drive you. You're accomplishing the things that you set out. Shit, God damn. Whether that's being an entrepreneur, whether that's physical fitness, whether that's being a great person or a productive citizen, you're really hitting those benchmarks. And when you have someone that's failing to do that, then those I'm supporting you goes into I'm now going to find a way to bring you down. I'm now going to take the positive air that you have around you, and I'm now going to taint it a little bit. I'm gonna throw a little shade in your sunlight. And I think as you get older, you start to realize that, you know, you really have to be mindful of how much you win around people. I don't think people really understand, like, I don't think people really have this type of conversation. How much you win around people. Like, you got to be mindful of the people that say, I'm cheering for you. I'm supporting you. Well, my thing is this. Somebody supporting you, are they allowed to take the day off? Can you imagine asking someone, do you feel like you motivate me? Do you feel like you push me? Do you challenge me? And they say, sometimes. Okay. So let me use this. Can you imagine having sex? But your dick only gets hard sometime. Your pussy only gets wet sometime. You only come sometime. It's like, when do you say sometime counts? Can you, better yet, can you imagine being with someone that wakes up and thinks that them supporting you sometime is what you deserve, as if you don't know your worth? Them supporting you sometime, whether professionally or personally. Can you imagine your business partner saying, well, you know, I'm here to make money sometime? So, personal, can yeah, I'm gonna give you head sometime. A parent, oh, I'm gonna take care of my kids sometime. I'm gonna pay my bills sometime. But more so, can you imagine someone who says that I feel like I support you sometime? I challenge you sometime. And I say that because it's like, you know, if you're not giving someone 100%, should you expect 100% in return? If you're not putting your best foot forward, your best effort forward in a game, should you expect to play? Should you expect to be the star player? But it's crazy because a lot of people be wanting those MVP treatments. You know what I'm saying? But they don't play in the game, but sometime. And I just, you know, I've come to a realization that it's a lot of people who want your spot. It's a lot of people who want your spot. And here's the thing. It's like, man, do you really want this jersey? Do you really want to step in my shoes? Do you really want these problems? Because in order to handle the things that I handle, the things that you handle, it comes with time. It comes with patience. It comes with energy. It comes with motivation. It comes with stamina. And a lot of people don't have the stamina. They don't have the mental capacity. They can't articulate. They can't get their point across without being emotional. And to be honest with you, me personally, when someone starts arguing emotionally, for me, I turn them off. Because it lets me know you can't control yourself and there's no cutoff. When you don't understand that you're reaching a point where there's no cutoff and you keep going and 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 you start saying whatever, I see weakness in you. I see weakness in you, and you can't be the man. You can't be the woman. You can't be the MVP if you have that level of weakness. Because that doesn't only apply to personal relationships, it applies to business. Can you imagine being with somebody or around somebody that can't have a conversation without playing the blame game or getting loud or let me tell you? And it's like, do you feel like you're accomplishing something? Is that what you're accustomed to? Is that how you raise your children? Is that how you've done other businesses? Is that what you do at your job? Is that what you do with your friends? It's like, it's so many questions when I see people like act a certain way. It's just like, I wonder, like, does that really work for you? And I notice, especially with me, like when I'm having a conversation with people and I see like sporadic, erratic, you know, crazy behavior, it's like, I wonder, do they feel like they're the MVP? They're the most valuable player. I wonder, do they really feel like they're the... It's almost like the audacity, because I feel like if you ain't putting in the work, if you ain't up early, shooting in the gym, if you ain't running the distance, trying to get your stamina up, if you're not putting in the work, then you don't deserve no reward. You don't deserve the high fives and the good jobs and you don't deserve it. You don't deserve the attention. In case people are lost at what I'm saying, the fact of the matter is it's a lot of people that look at you and say, man, I can do what you do and I can do it better. Okay, but it's going to take work to do what I do. You know, you take some of those God-given attributes, yes, but you have to apply those things and know when to go forward, take back, restrain. You need to know all of those things. And I feel like a lot of people are not conditioned enough, patient enough, confident enough, clever enough, realistic enough to have real conversations or to really put in real work. And you see those type of people, they're stagnant. They're stagnant in their life. Nothing's exciting about these people. You know what I'm saying? And it's like they're 2 steps away from a mental breakdown, depressed, and it's just like, got this look on their face like the world is coming to an end. And it's like, dude, if you do not put in the work and you blame everybody for your distress or your unhappiness, you're never going to be successful. You're never going to be successful. And what's bad about it is if your children are a reflection of who you are. And you look at your children and say, well, are my children successful? Real shit. Have you ever seen someone that wanted to be somebody or felt like, you know, they talk to you like they were somebody, but it's like, okay, well, let me examine this. Let me see. Because I'm hearing you want this, and this, and this, but let me examine your worth. And sometimes when you examine people's worth, you know what I'm saying, straight off the bat, it'd be just like, okay, well, I think people confuse potential with experience. I think people confuse potential with knowledge. I think people confuse potential with actions. I think people confuse potential with realism. See, when you get a business partner or you get a lover or whatever the case may be, you get into a situation where you learn them. You learn their weaknesses, you learn their strengths, you know the things that they like, they dislike, you know the things that make them tick. You know if they go-getters or not. You know if they back against the wall, they're going to go get it. Or if they're going to cower. You know if they can have a conversation and diffuse the situation, or they're going to escalate it and just go off and do whatever. Come on now, we know these things, don't we? We know these things. And it's so interesting because I feel like I've been privileged enough to be in positions where I've been literally able to tell people certain things about themselves that, one, a lot of them don't want to hear. And then two, I give you solutions on how to fix the problem. I give you solutions. And the thing about it is, what's so crazy is, man, I am a very selfish person. Very selfish. And what I mean by selfish, it's probably not the particular thing that you would think, but I like to hear I'm right. I don't want to hear I'm right a year from now when you finally sit down and talk to a psychiatrist. I don't want to hear I'm right when you talk to your grandma. I'm right when you talk to your daddy. I'm right when you talk to your sister, your uncle. You talk to your coworker. You talk to the choir director. You talk to the person that works at Waffle House. No. I want to hear I'm right after I explain it to you. And those people that I see that love to be like, I'm the MVP. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with wanting that. But when you don't put in the work, when you're not consistent, when you're worried about everything other than the actual situation, and you can't talk about the situation without, and I said, blah, 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 blah. How do you expect to achieve anything? How do you expect people to take you serious? That's why I said, man, listen, bro, it's one thing to hear, somebody say something about you and they don't give you any solutions. It's one thing to hear that. But it's another thing when someone says, I've identified these problems or these concerns, and here's what I feel like is the solution. I think people are scared to be wrong. I feel like I think they're scared to be wrong because they've ran their whole life stumbling. stumbling forward, stumbling side to side, but for some type of way was able to stumble, you know what I'm saying, a couple yards forward. And they like, okay, I'm achieving, I'm doing it, you know, and they just moving all sporadic. This is their life. You guys, have you ever seen anybody with a life like this? This is their life. That's their life. That's their life. Come on, let's play around with this for a second. Let's play around with this. I'm gonna show y'all. This is their life. I got bad credit. I got a bad attitude about life. I really don't have a good relationship with my kids. None of my relationships actually really worked in the last goddamn 10 years. I got all these issues. I can't really have a conversation. I scream and yell and I attack people. That is their life. And can you imagine somebody coming in and saying, instead of this, stop. Hold on, stop. You're doing too much. You're doing too much. You all over the place. You're doing too much. And when you finally say, stop, listen, learn. That's why it's hard for people to take your place. Everybody wants to be the star. Everybody wants to be, you know what I'm saying, the MVP. But a lot of people ain't putting in the work. A lot of people they don't understand that level of clarity. They don't understand that level of self. A lot of excuses about everything. I mean, super procrastinators. I mean, just like, I hate a person who says you think you know everything that don't give sound advice. Can I ask you something? Let me ask you something. Can you imagine knowing a little bit about everything? Whether it's traveling, whether it's investing, whether it's sex, whether it's relationships, whether it's being a friend, whether it's being a father, being a mother, shopping, whatever. You know a little bit about everything, so you're able to give sound advice. You're able to have a conversation. People are able to respect your opinion. If you're able to do these things, and can you imagine somebody saying, you think you know everything? Should the reply be, you know enough? Should the reply be yes? But what type of person would tell you that, though? What type of person would say you think you know everything? Well, really, you think I know everything. And that's why you're mad. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is the thing that kills me. It's like, you don't put the work in to be the MVP. You don't take the time to learn what you need to learn to be the MVP. You're not patient enough and have the understanding to be the MVP. But you want the MVP status. That's my issue. You know what I'm saying? People want what you have, but don't want to put in the work to get where you are. They don't want to practice. Practice? This about practice? Practice? No, hell no. Fuck a practice. Oh, no, hell no. Fuck a practice. Bro, you're going to have to calm down. You're going to have to get focused. You have to get focused. It's like a lot of people don't understand what they be asking for. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want your spot. I want your position. Okay. If you want this load, you want to carry this load. Oh, okay, gotcha. It's a lot of people moving too fast. It's a lot of people moving too fast. And it's so daunting to watch people destroy themselves. It's daunting. Like you ever get tired of what, like, remember when your kids was growing up and you tell your kid, hey, don't touch the stove, it's hot. Every day, you know what I'm saying? That, you know, kid keep on, you know, trying to put the hand on the stove, keep the hand on the stove. It's like, hey, it's hot now. It's hot. And you watch them attempt to touch this stove repeatedly. I'm gonna touch it from the left. I'm gonna touch it from the right. I'm gonna touch it. I'm gonna try to run and touch it. I'm going to put my hand on this stove. And it's not that they don't know any better. Like, they don't know that no means no. They don't know that you may know something they don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's the fact that it's just, I still want to do it. This is the only way this will fulfill my life. My way. And then they burn their hand. And then you have to go through all of the procedures in reference to addressing the burn and addressing the tears and I should have listened. And, you know, isn't it daunting to watch people burn their hand? It's daunting. Well, if you want to take my position, if you want to take my spot, if you want to get my credit, you got to do what the fuck I do. Pay attention. You can't be moving all around thinking, okay, well, hey, you know, I'm going to take his spot. How? How? I mean, this goes from entrepreneurship to being a man, being a woman, being a parent. Like, how can you take my spot if you don't do what I do? Communication skills, problem solving, stamina, working on your fitness, working on your financial goals, achieving goals, having the tough conversation without name calling, putting in the work, putting in the time. There's a lot of people, I think they're afraid to let go, man. For real. You know, I seen a meme the other day and it says, in 2021, don't force a relationship that's doomed to fail. No doubt. No doubt. And that's just not, you know, with a lover. That's with everything. Don't force a relationship, you know, with anything. You know what I'm saying? With anything. That's doomed to fail. I don't know. I'm very optimistic about 2021. I'm very excited about what's to come, the next chapter in my life. I think that, again, there's a lot of people that, you know, I think people love to feel like they're doing something in support of someone else. Love to say, hey, I've done this and I've done that. And, you know, I rooted for you. I was the first one in the bleachers and I was the last one to leave. And it sounds good, you know, but when you sit down and you start to make the list, you find that you got a whole lot of room on the paper for more shit. It's not as much as you thought it was. You know, and then it's so interesting because I'll use this. You got the people that play on the field and you got the people that cheerlead on the side. And even though what they're doing is getting them attention, they still want your attention. So now, in order to get your attention, they must now throw shade to the person that's playing on the field. Well, you scored a touchdown, but you ran 75 yards, but you threw the ball and it got to him, but you think you all that. You think you know it all. They want your spot. You can apply that same thing to parenting. You can apply it to being a business owner. Use that same scenario. People watching you achieve, people watching you reach your goals, people watching you, break down issues and be able to communicate. Like, people watch you win. They watch you win. And those same people that you hope, that are really in support of you are like this. I had a person tell me one day, somebody gave them some information, some bad information about me, right? And I'm thinking, like, in regards to like a personal relationship or a professional relationship, let me ask y'all a question. How long would you wait if you found out some negative information that could impact your professional or personal relationship? How long would you wait before you tell that person? An hour, a day, a week, a month, a year? How long would you wait? I mean, you got to think about it. If these are the same people that's supporting you, if this is your colleagues, or you guys are business partners, you guys are lovers or best friends or family members, or, how long would you wait before you tell the person? Or would you just hold on to the information? But you hold on to it to do what with it? Bring it up later? Now it's relevant? 30 days later, 6 months later, here's my thing. My thing about it is, and I believe this to be true. I believe that anybody who is for you will be for you. Anybody who supports you wholeheartedly all the time is for you all the time. It's not going to be half the shit half the time. It's not going to be, And my whole thing about it is, I like people who ride or die. You know what I'm saying? Ride or die. Like, I don't want you to be half in, half out, or whatever case to be. So I would say this, and this is what I wish I would have said to that person. But again, it takes maturity. It takes time to evaluate situations. You are my enemy. You're my enemy. I don't care if we share the same office. I don't care if we share the same car. I don't care if we share the same house or the bed. You're my enemy. Anytime that you would sit down and say, I have information about your life, about your character, about you, but I didn't tell you about it until I could bring it up in a manner to where you needed to defend yourself, whether you're innocent or guilty, but I'm going to say you guilty and use it against you anyway. I don't know if he's right or wrong or whatever it is. You're my enemy. That person is your enemy. That person is your enemy. You can't say you're a supporter, but you're a friend, but you're a lover, but you're a family member, but you're worse than a naysayer. You're worse than a hater. You're worse than a friend of me. You're on the inside of my personal circle, whether that's being, a family member or a friend. You're on the inside of that circle of protection, goddammit. Circle of trust. And you decide that, okay, well, the best thing to do to damage you, and again, these are the people that are doing this. They're all over the place, right? And these are the people that wait until you say, stop from being all over the place, to now throw this in your face. I want your spot. I want to use whatever it is that I was holding on to for whatever reason, forever long, use it to take your spot. So I want to go from cheerleading to now being the MVP. Y'all get it? I'm not going to put in the time. I'm not going to put in the work. I'm not going to go to the gym. Fuck practice. I just want your spot. I want your attention. Whatever confidence that you have, I want to take it. I want to dim your character. I want to dim your light. I want to attack you. I want to put you in a position of lesser than me while I step on you. Yeah, I know I'm defensive. I'm defensive. Yeah, I'm defensive. Let me tell you why you're defensive. You're defensive because when you have patience and you can see through a lot of bullshit, the defensive is, let me go on the attack. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have people around you that pride themselves on being defensive, pride themselves on not having conversations and yelling and screaming and being overly emotional, they pride themselves on dysfunctional behavior, period. All the while saying, hey, I want your spot. You know, I was a supporter, but I want your spot. You know, I want to show you that I'm better than you. I want to show you, that, I can do what you do and do it better. Well, hey, I tell you what, man, I love to take a day off. I love to see you articulate. I would love to see you, solve problems. I would love to see you, physically fit, mentally fit, financially fit. I would love to see that. Go ahead, go right ahead. Let me step aside. You do you. People lack the patience and understanding to do better. They lack commitment. And they think that their own experiences are the only experiences that matter. Can you imagine walking into a doctor's office telling a doctor how you need to be treated? You have an illness and you're telling the doctor how to treat your ailment. That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, whether it's professional or personal, like I feel like I'm a doctor treating an illness where someone is trying to tell me a better way to treat something that they haven't corrected in years. So you know that there's a problem, but you don't get help with the problem. You know that there's a problem, but you don't do anything to fix the problem. You procrastinate on fixing the problem. But you want my spot. You want to be the entrepreneur. You want to be the person of, you want to be the MVP. You want to be the business owner, the great parent. You want to be what you see. It's interesting sometimes, man. I'm telling you, and like I said, it get daunting watching people burn their hands. It gets daunting. I'm telling you, it really does. And you look at it, you be like, that is some crazy shit. That's some crazy shit. But what I really understand, and I'm growing to understand, is that, man, it don't matter how old you are. It don't matter what color you are. It don't matter where you're from. It don't matter how you grew. Like, it's just people in general, man. People in general. Some people get it and some people don't. Some people live by a certain code and some people don't. But I would never, ever in my life devalue a person that I know has more experience than me. That means if I don't work on cars, but if I go to a person that works on cars and I know they work on cars or whatever, I'm not going to stand there and try to be like, I know more than you do about cars. Like, it's an irrelevant conversation. But the issue is that I really honestly see that people want that argument. They want that smoke. They want that smoke. They would go argue with a mechanic about some shit that he's been doing for years, solving problems, articulating solutions, developing courses of action, and argue you down to the ground about how right they are. That to me is asinine. Oh, that car don't need 4 wheels. I've seen it work just fine with 3 wheels. Oh, that nut don't that nut don't go there. It's supposed to go over there. Like, oh my God. Pointless. Futile. Ridiculous. Argue for the sake of arguing. Defensive for the sake of being defensive. I've watched people kill themselves in presenting an argument. Kill themselves. I'm going to say this to you, and be under the impression that it makes sense. Okay, let's examine that. Let's examine how much sense it makes. And then when you break it down, you regurgitate it. Oh yeah, you're right. It gets daunting. It gets daunting. But you want to be the MVP. You want my spot. How many people want your spot? How many people have watched you do things in your life that you know that you worked hard for, that you know that it's been a long road, but you finally got here. And then when they see you, it's like, I'm cheering for you. I'm rooting for you. I'm your number one supporter. I'm your number one fan. I'm right here. Hey, here's this. Hey, here's that. I've done all of these things to support you. Oh my God. I'm the greatest person. And then when you finally get a chance to sit down and talk to them, you realize that you're my greatest naysayer. You're my greatest hater. You're my greatest frenemy. If you don't know who it is, you know what it is. It's Mario J. It's tough love. You can't be the MVP. You're not ready. Peace.